are already addressed accordingly and take care of the the business of our authority. So these are the things that I made sure that I bring to the general manager to also help our board secretary as early as we can make all these arrangements. It would be better for all of us, and it will be more efficient on our part, and as well as looking at the cost effectivity of it. Just like I mentioned as well, anybody in the directors, from the directors can go, but the earlier we can make arrangement on this schedule, the better it is for us to make arrangements as well. There was a second from Oh, I'm sorry.
There was a
Sorry.
motion before the second.
There was a motion, and I need a second before we can discuss that.
I second.
Okay.
I'm under the impression that the first was to approve the revisions. It's the opposite. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So then I will retract that.
Chair, can I make sure Nick's microphone we can hear?
Yes.
I can't hear Nick.
Apologize, Director Cox. I apologize, Director Castañeda. Just for clarification, I had a motion. She said she agreed to move all the other policies except for 511, which I should have responded first, but I entertained a comment from Director Martinez. So I apologize for the confusion. General Manager, do you have any comments? Sir?
No. I think everything's been addressed, Director Chair Yamani, on the reasons why we're making this recommendation. It's really just to make sure that we're efficient, that we are responsive to finding the accommodations at the venue or as close as we can. We had some challenges with some conferences that they are sold out fairly quickly, and this presents a challenge when all of you travel, and sometimes you end up at a hotel that is not really all that convenient. So I think overall this helps everybody be in the same venue, and it just gives myself and the board secretary a way to be responsive to the board's needs.
Thank you. So with that said, I haven't received a second to your motion, Director Cox, but I wanted to explain to you that I was the one who put that item in the policy in order for us to be more effective in making sure that we address these things earlier, as it is necessary. I see it as necessary, for our board secretary to be able to, take care of all this, because sometimes it's difficult. So I believe that, I wish that that was, I should have said, prior to me putting it in the agenda to all of you, but I don't have any other reason but to be more effective and efficient in how we take care of our educational conferences. So with that said,
Mayor Morrison, Director Morrison.
Mayor Morrison,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, I certainly understand Director Cox's concerns here. And, I think that the concern I have is, like, even with a couple of those that she mentioned, those are coming up in the next couple of weeks and next few weeks. And if we put them off for another meeting or whatever to approve them individually, we will not get early bird special. Good chance we won't even get in on the conference hotels, which makes it difficult if anyone does want to go to them. I think, to me, it's more important, not so much if people go to these or not, but if they go to them, that they actually are participating in them and, are getting something out of it. These are all ones that we have basically, even when we had to bring them onto the agenda, they've all been ones that have passed right through. Everyone says, yes, this is a good thing, and it applies to us. The main thing is that we get something out of it and that we do apply ourselves when we go to these things.
Thank you, Director. So with that said, I need a motion for 7.8. Yes, Director?
I'd like to make a motion to approve item 7.8 as approved by the committee.
Thank you, Director. I have a motion. I entertain a second.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Director Martinez. I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Mayor Morrison, your hand still raised?
Well, let me lower my hand.
I did
Thank
it for
you.
you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. So I have a
Chair-
motion and, yes, Director
Just to,
Cox?
just to clarify, that's a substitute motion, right? Did you get a motion on, oh, I didn't get a
Yeah,
second.
it died, Director Cox,
Okay.
for lack of a second.
Thank you. And Director Castaneda, I'm very sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know if your microphone, when you do speak, is on or
You know
closed.
what? I didn't, but I will.
Thank
There
you.
are.
Thank you very
Can hear
much.
you. Thanks.
Thank you. Now, Board Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Director Castañeda,
Yes.
Director Cox,
For the good of the order, I,
Director Delgado,
Yes.
Director Martinez,
Aye.
Director Martinez Perez. Director Morrison,
Aye.
Director Yamani.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to 7.11, Director Cox. Your floor, ma'am.
thank you, Madam Chair. This is the sponsorship for the Voice of San Diego event, and my comments will echo what I offered last year per the board policy 519 that we just adopted with the last item. Page 466, again, the policy still states only events that are in the authority service area are open to the general public and do not charge an entrance fee will be considered. When I brought this up last year, the GM had offered to bring this back to committee to amend what I understand was the intention of a policy, but the policy as written still states those three requirements to be able to sponsor an event. So while I really appreciate the value of watchdog journalism and the investigative reporting that Voice of San Diego does, I would like to see us support activities that have more water relevance and are accessible to our ratepayers in our district, consistent with our policy. This is advertised as a sharp and hilarious roast of Scott Lewis, and I don't think that fits with our policy. So I would move to decline this sponsorship in this case.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay,
Can we just clarify the motion one more time?
the motion is to
No.
not agree to the sponsorship of directors. I was the one who requested our general manager to seek a an arrangement with the Voice of San Diego. As you know, this is public relations to our authority. And you know, I mean, I see the value of building that relationship to this community. And our public affairs manager was able to arrange a lower rate, $3,500 for a sponsorship level. You know, I mean, to be able to participate and build that relationship with this community as a public relation. Yes, towards Director Martinez.
Yeah, and I would like to add that I disagree that the Voice of San Diego does not do anything related to water. I mean, I historically, I have read a lot of articles that they have written. Some of them, I wish I would have had the opportunity to say something. And I'm going to take a special effort to develop a relationship so that we can have an opportunity to speak with Hinch and all the others that are on staff to give our perspective. You know, many times they can write whatever they want. You know, this is the First Amendment and they can say whatever they want, but at least they need to know our perspective about all the different items, PFAS, water transfers, aeration, all the different projects that we do for the benefit of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Castaneda.
And might I add, this is a nonprofit organization, so, you know, they depend on subscriptions, but also donations from folks. Last year, I wasn't able to vote on it because actually, I probably could have. My wife's a volunteer for that event. She is not on the host committee this year. So we, you know, we're not involved in that. But the fact is that Mackenzie Elmer, not only Jim Hitch, but Mackenzie Elmer writes a ton of water articles, many of which affect either directly or indirectly Sweetwater Authority and its customers. So I think that, you know, they offer a very good service to the community. It's a free publication. Anybody can go on Voice of San Diego on the website and basically pull down articles. I've done that many times and sent them around. And I think it's just good journalism. And we, you know, we can't have a situation where we have a one publication town. I mean, I think that we need to support nonprofit and independent journalism. And I think this is a good thing. And I'm glad when I saw the original sponsorship sheet, I got a little bit of a sticker shock, but I'm glad they were able to, you know, work with us and understand that, you know, we're a government agency, but, you know, they're going to be very important. I mean, we would just spent a significant of resources trying to find out what our customers think, what they are looking for, what's important to them. And one of the take homes that we heard was we need to communicate better. And, you know, quite frankly, it's publications like Voice of San Diego that allow us to communicate. And so I just think I think it's something that, you know, makes sense. And I don't think that it's something that, you know, is not without justification.
Thank you, Director. Director Cox, any follow-up comment?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, and just to offer a clarification or reiteration of what I said before, I never said that Voice of San Diego doesn't cover water. I think they've done an excellent job covering a lot of that, Mackenzie and others. But it was the event having water relevance. And again, this is an event that's a roast of Scott Lewis. Again, totally applaud the investigative journalism. I appreciate having the diversity of perspectives that are being represented in that publication. But I think there are other events where we could have more water relevance directly connected to the work that we do and to connect with our ratepayers. And an event that's not consistent with our board policy that was just readopted is not something I can support. So thank you.
Thank you. So noted, Director Cox. So I think we have discussed. I would like to entertain a motion.
You-
Oh,
You have
There's a
a
motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Board Secretary, please call the roll.
Director Castañeda.
No.
Director Cox.
Aye.
Director Delgado.
Nay.
Director Martinez.
Nay.
Director Martinez Perez.
No.
Director Morrison.
Aye.
Director Yamani.
No.
The motion fails with Directors Cox and Morrison in favor and Directors Castañeda, Delgado, Martinez, Martinez Perez, and Yamani opposing.
Thank you, Board Secretary. Thank you to our GM and our Public Affairs Manager for reaching out to this organization with my direction. Thank you. Oh, I need a motion then.
I move for approval of the,
I have a motion
And I'll second that.
and thank you, Director Delgado. I have a motion and a second. Any other comments? Seeing none, let's call the roll, Madam Secretary.
Director Castañeda.
Yes.
Director Cox.
Nay.
Director Delgado.
Yes.
Director Martinez.
yes.
Director Martinez Perez.
Aye.
Director Morrison.
Aye.
Director Yamani.
Aye.
The motion passes with Directors Castañeda, Delgado, Martinez, Martinez Perez, Morrison, and Yamani in favor,
Thank
and
you.
Director Cox opposing.
May I, and I should
Yes.
have said this beforehand. I just want to make sure that we're getting the community level, which includes a total of 10 event tickets. Is that true?
Yes.
And then could I just, maybe something that we can start practicing is including staff into, you know,
Yes.
this feels like our PR team should
Yeah.
have priority over going to that. So if I could
We
request that.
have been practicing that, Director. In fact, that was the recommendation of General Manager that I supported. In fact, our Public Affairs managers everywhere. Yeah, thank you. You should have seen his report. He's everywhere, basically, cloned himself. Item number 8, Directors, moving to item number 8, action and discussion items. Item 8, consideration to adopt resolution 26-03, recognizing, honoring, and recommending and commending Juan Vargas for his support as a member of Congress. This is from the Legislative Committee. Chair, this is Madam Secretary, is there any, this is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 8. Are there any members of public wishing to speak?
There's no public comments, Chair.
Thank you. I defer to you, General Manager.
Thank you, Chair. We brought this to committee to make a recommendation to the board, and it was recommended that we bring this to the board. Basically, it's a resolution to recognize all the effort that Congressman Juan Vargas has done on behalf of the community. He's been a champion of Sweetwater Authority customers, and he's been supporting us through a variety of sponsored grants. There's been two, one for almost $1 million for the iron and manganese project, and then a recent one for the conversion of the disinfection system at the Purdue treatment plant. And also he supported other grants, I believe the Bureau of Reclamation grant that we received for the aeration project as well. So we're bringing this for the full board's consideration to see if you would like to approve the recommendation, the resolution as presented to the board.
Thank you so much, General Manager. Director Cox.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Appreciate everything that Congressman Vargas has done for the authority and our community.
To put things in the budget, but they never were allocated to actually spend, even though they were put into the budget. So I just want to make sure that this is money that we can actually spend and not just put into the budget, because they're not the same thing.
We're going to put it to work, Director.
Yeah.
Any other comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion for approval.
You already got that?
Oh, we have a who did? I don't have a motion.
Yeah.
Director
Oh,
Cox made a
Cox.
motion.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I need a
I'll second it.
second. Sorry,
I'll second
Director Cox. A second by Director Morrison.
Yeah.
And so now I have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution 26-03. Board Secretary, please call the roll.
Director Castañeda?
Yes.
Director Cox?
Aye.
Director Delgado?
Yes.
Director Martinez?
Aye.
Director Martinez Perez?
Aye.
Director Morrison?
Aye.
Director Yamani?
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to item 9, old and unfinished business. 9.1, consideration to provide direction regarding the Prudential Supply property. This is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 9.1. Board Secretary, are there any public comments?
There's no public comments, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. General Manager?
Thank you, Chair. The board directed staff to look at the possibility of how suitable would be to try to acquire the Prudential Supply property. This is the property that's located adjacent to the operations yard. So we retain GAFCON, we give them a contract, a small contract to do the analysis. We included their draft report for your information. The key takeaway is that, I mean, transforming the current Prudential building into something that's suitable will require significant capital expenditure by the authority. And in fact, it might be suggest that we might be better off just taking the existing property that we have and building adjacent to that rather than acquiring this property and transforming it into something that's suitable. The cost might appear to be a little bit high, but I just thought I'd share that draft report, and seek direction from the board as far as whether this is what you all had envisioned and whether there's any specific direction or maybe direction not to pursue anything at this point. So I'll defer to the governing board.
Thank you, General Manager. Director Castañeda, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you, GM. Yeah, I looked at this and I thought, we have a lot of other needs here. This is pretty significant expenditure. They pegged, I guess this is the authority executive administrative building that they are saying that it's worth $5 million. That might be, but maybe not right now. The market's pretty soft and it would just take a long time. We would have a pretty significant outlay. And I think with these kind of numbers, I would much rather focus on development of new water supply. And at some point when that's been achieved, perhaps we can revisit this, but I would not be in favor of moving forward with this.
Thank you, Director. Director Martinez?
I agree with Director Castañeda, and this is probably not the time to move forward on this. I felt that it was our board's obligation to look into it because opportunities like these don't happen every day. I mean, to have such a large parcel right next to us, I felt that we were obligated to look at it. We did. The numbers are really, really high and not representative of what we are seeing in the market. So I'm repeating what you said about the soft market. I don't know. That's something that could change the dynamics. And I think that we need to keep our radar going and don't be surprised that maybe the price drops significantly, 50%, you never know. And then we might need to take another look at it, but right now the price that it's being offered at is very, very high.
Thank you, Director. Director Morrison?
Yes, I would agree with that also. And I just hate to see us fall in. I mean, there's been a number of things in the water world in the last few years. Agencies, whether if it was met with their building of their new headquarters right before the rates went right through the roof. And then, of course, County Water Authority looking, they needed a new building and all this kind of stuff. And, even though we still have the lowest rates, with the number of things that are before us, PFAS, everything else, there's a number of expenditures out there, plus the need to expand our water portfolio. And I think needs to be our first obligation.
Thank you, Mayor Morrison. Director Cox?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't disagree with anything that's been said thus far. I do think it was a good exercise to go through and see what's available and what it might cost. I did want to ask if our GM could please just restate, because it's been a couple of months since we talked about this. What was the need for the additional, current and future authority operations for this? Just to restate, to level set.
Yeah, if I may, Chair, the need, I mean, what triggered this report or the need as far as like square footage, Director Cox? I'm just trying to get.
Yeah,
Well,
the report didn't go back and restate that for us, nor did it have sort of the high level summary of the three options. So I went through and I think it was acquire and rehabilitate at 13.2 million, acquire and redevelop at a cost of 19.3 million, and develop a new facility on the authority property at 8.3 million. So all three very expensive, right?
Yeah, my recollection from talking to GAFCON is that it would be something comparable to what we have, maybe, slightly larger to accommodate maybe slightly larger boardroom, slightly lunchroom. But it was almost the equivalent of what we have at headquarters, plus whatever we have at operations, trying to basically combine into one. I mean, maybe a little larger, maybe like a drive-through window for paying their bill, in essence, about the size that we have, give, take, some percentage, but it's nothing like, nothing that we don't think we would need. I think there was a question whether, we intended to have, significant increase in staff or for office space. And the answer was, just about the same. That's what we have now. So.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, directors. So this is a, yes, Director Martinez. Yes.
I just wanted to add something for the record, like looking at the future, if the price was to drop and if we were to take another look at it, in the next iteration, I would like to see the potential for a recycled water plant on site. That parcel is large enough that could accommodate a recycled water plant or a second Reynolds desalination plant, it could be PFAS removal, or it could be all these different things that we could use that large parcel. So just keep it in the back of our minds. The price is very high right now. It's not within what the market is showing, but if it was to change and if we were to fit it into our future plans according to our strategic plan, I think we should look at that.
Thank you.
Sure.
I believe GM will have an eagle eye on this. Thank you, GM.
Exactly. Yes, we'll keep an eye, and if something changes significantly, we'll make sure that that you all hear from us on this. Thank you.
Thank you all for it's a good exercise, and when opportunities arise, I'm sure our GM will be able to make a different proposal. So this is a This is just a report, right?
If there's no action desired by the
action
board,
item on this
I
one.
will defer to Nick. Basically, there will be
Counsel?
there's no need to
No.
have a vote.
There's
No.
no need for a vote or
No,
action.
council, no action. It's not a voting
Right.
item. So proceeding to item 10, new business. 10.1, consideration to sponsor the South County Economic Development Council forum on May 1st, 2026. This is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 10.1. Board Secretary, are there any public comments?
There's no public comments, Chair.
There's no public comments. I defer to you, GM.
Thank you, Chair. We've done this event in the past. The sponsorship level it proposes 2,500 to attend the event, and we would get a table for 10.
Thank you.
10
Any comments
people.
from my directors? Director Cox, I see the yellow hand.
Thank you. Yes, I'll offer the same comments I did last year, and I had hoped that the policy would be modified so that I could vote differently on this. I think this is a nice event. It has really great value for local networking, policy issues, good information, but it's purely not consistent with Board Policy 519 because it happens outside of the district and it charges an admission fee. Last year I did go. I did not accept per diem because I felt that it was not right to accept a per diem for something I had voted against, but I wanted to make sure the authority was represented. We had 2 board members that were at our table, and the majority of the table was empty for most of the day. So while I think there's some great content that can be there, it's not consistent with the policy, and our participation didn't get the return on that investment. So
Thank you, Director.
I would move to not approve the sponsorship on this one, with all due respect to the EDC.
Thank you, Director. There is a motion.
Mayor Morrison. has-
Director Morrison, I see a yellow hand.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this is a very worthwhile event. I do believe that maybe we need to push a little bit on the South County EDC. To me, I think it's very important if we're going to be talking about economic development in the South County and everything else. And the moment we raise rates or anything, that's when the businesses scream and yell and how it's raising their rates. So I think it's important that they hear from us. So, I think, pushing to have some element about water and rates, whether if it's just us or maybe a joint one between us and San Diego Gas and Electric and different ones that deals with the different utilities, I think would be very important. I think it had a deal something along this line. And I do agree also, if people are going to say that they're going to attend this thing, we had a pretty sparse table last year, and that wasn't very encouraging.
Thank you,
So-
Director. So noted. General Manager and I had a conversation about this, and actually I placed a call to Executive Director or CEO Jim O'Callahan, and Angel and myself are going to be working towards those comments, Mayor. Okay.
Yeah.
And as well as Director Castañeda, we discussed this item as well in the legislative because of economic development element of the authority. So, I did not hear a second for your motion, Director Cox, so that died. I would entertain another motion, please.
Madam Chair, I'll go
Yes.
ahead and move the approval of 10.1.
Thank you.
I would like to second it, but if we could make an amendment that we would open it up to staff so that they can attend. I think, it would be great to have and all the department heads out there talking to the community and interacting as well as us in a joint effort. And that would also help with the perception of having a sparse table,
I'm-
Directors, I was there last year and Sochi was there and some of, there's another
Robert
one.
Yano was there.
Yeah, Director.
Yeah.
AGM Yano was there too last year. So we will work on this. General Manager and our Public Affairs Manager are on it with the leadership of our Chair for Legislative and Communication, Director Morrison. I'm calling my name.
I was having an identity crisis here for a moment. Yeah, I have no problem with the directors. I think it should be first offered to the board members and then filled up and not wait till the last minute also, because that's always a problem. But then offered also to the directors. But I would just remind us, of the rule of that we have for per diem and meetings and everything, that you have to be there for at least a half of the meeting, or it does not apply for per diem. So a lot of times we have people show up and they're there for maybe a half hour and then they leave and that's it. And it's like a 4 or 5 hour event. So
Thank you. Thank you, Director. I think I sent that email to all of us today, reminding us all of that state law 82323.3. So I send that to all of us just to be reminded. Thank you.
Mm.
So I have a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Director Castañeda.
Yes.
Director Cox.
Due to board policy 519, no.
Director Delgado.
Yes.
Director Martinez.
Yes.
Director Martinez Perez.
Aye.
Director Morrison.
aye.
Director Yamani.
Aye.
The motion passes with Directors Castañeda, Delgado, Martinez, Martinez Perez, Morrison, and Yamani in favor, and Director Cox opposing.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, Director.
I just wanted to say, related to this item, I've heard some comments and I wanted to say that I want to thank you and the rest of the board members that I know attend a lot of events where we don't get per diem. And
Mhm.
I don't want to get a perception that we show up to a per diem event and we leave in 15 minutes or whatever. That's not the perception that I have of my board. And I want to be thankful of, especially you, Chair. I know you attend a lot of events when you don't get a per diem, and I know Steve does, and a lot, all of us do, so thank you.
I just wanted to thank everyone for making sure that we represent authority and authority only. Thank you. I also wear another hat. I'm a council member of City of National City with my mayor there. And so we go to a lot of events, and because we carry a lot, we wear a lot of hats. We make sure that we represent. Thank you. Director Cox.
Yeah, just to follow up, Chair, I know this didn't come back to the committee last year for the policy changes that would have enabled me to vote in support of something like this. Would you entertain bringing that policy back for revision this year?
I already did, Director. So our general manager, we're looking into it, and we're just waiting for guidance from our new council that's coming on board.
Okay,
Thank you.
so the policy that we approved tonight, you've already asked it be
Yes.
reviewed again? Okay, thank you
Yes.
very much for letting us know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So moving on to item 12. Oh no, these are reports and 11. 11.1. That's right.
Madam Chair, I'll go ahead and move approval of 11.1.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve. I am entertaining a second.
So moved.
Thank you.
Director, you might want to call for public comments. Sorry to
Yes.
interject.
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
11.
Madam Secretary, this is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 11.1. Are there any public wishing to make a comment?
There's no public comments, Chair.
GM, there's none. Eh?
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so moving on to the vote. Madam Secretary?
Director Castañeda.
Yes.
Director Cox.
I will have to vote no until board policy 519 is revised. Thank you.
Director Delgado.
Yes.
Director Martinez.
Yes, because board members can vote on changing policy and
Yes or no, Director?
Yes, I
Thank
vote
you.
yes. Yes.
Director Martinez Perez.
Aye.
Director Morrison.
Aye.
Director Yamani.
Aye.
The motion passes with Directors Castañeda, Delgado, Martinez, Martinez Perez, Morrison, and Yamani in favor, and Director Cox opposing.
Thank you. Moving on to reports and informational items. These are items 12, 13. Yes, Director? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's a lot. So these are item 12, delayed revenue balance dashboard. This is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 12, Board Secretary. Are there any public comments?
There's no public comments, Chair.
There is none. These are informational items only.
Hold down a little bit. I'd like to see that 18 million there.
It's not gonna disappear.
Chair, if I can make a remark
Yes,
on this.
General
report.
Manager, I'm sorry, I
Yes.
didn't see your yellow hand.
No, thanks, Chair. Just, something that, we've been reporting on the numbers for the participation in the water affordability program. Just like to note that we're pretty close, or at this point exceeded the 800 total subscriptions. So that is really good to us, good news, and it's a testament of the effort that our staff is putting, outreach, being part of 211 and trying to have as much outreach, with our public affairs manager to make sure that the community is aware and takes advantage of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, General Manager. We're all working hard, sir. Item 13, committee minutes. This is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 13. Board Secretary, are there any public comments?
There's no public comments, Chair.
Thank you. These are informational items only. Item 14, monthly updates on PFAS, pilot project and preliminary design report, February 2026. This is also an information item only. This is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 14. Board Secretary, are there any public comments?
There's no public comments, Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to item 15, financial reports as of January 2026. This is the opportunity for members of the public to speak on item 15. Board Secretary, are there any public comments?
We have no public comments, Chair.
Thank you. These are informational item. Item 16, legal counsel, Counsel Norvell. It's your time to shine, sir.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have a report this evening.
That's it. No report. Good job. Thank you. General Manager, your time, sir.
Thank you, Chair. I do have a couple of announcements. One, good news, we received a report from the State Water Resources Control Board regarding our submitted report for conservation as a way of life, compliance summary. And basically, our current use is lower than the objective. So kudos to all of our customers for using water efficiently and adopting conservation as a way of life. And then number two, I would like to share a brief slide deck showing the calculation that we use to determine that the authority does have the lowest rates in the county. So with your permission, Chair, I will
Excited to show it, GM.
share this. Let me just make sure I can everybody see the
Mhm.
presentation there?
Yes.
Okay, so what we've done is we've taken an average use of 8 HCF. If you remember, 1 HCF is 748 gallons. Times 8 is about 6,000 gallons per month. Now, in this case, we do, since we bill every 2 months, just bear with me, we're using the calculation of twice that, so 16 HCF, which is about 12,000 gallons. So 16 HCF spans 3 tiers. So you can see basically the price per tier plus the surcharge for the county water authority. So 4 HCF fall under tier 1, 9 HCF fall under tier 2, and 3 HCF fall under tier 3. And then we added the fixed charges, the $31.41. This is the agency fixed charge, and then the infrastructure charge. This is a county water authority charge pass through, and then another county water authority charge for, I believe this is Rich is there in the audience. I believe this is for the meters that we have. So the total bill for 2 months is almost $144, which corresponds to about $72 per month. The next lowest is Lakeside. So we ran the same calculation using, in this case, they bill every 2 months just like us. So we went through the tiers, as you can see shown in the slide. And Lakeside ends up with $155.64 for a total of $77.82 for a 1 month period. The third lowest is Carlsbad Municipal Water District. They do bill monthly, so we just took their data for the month. All other data is under tier one. And then they have the fixed charges and their rate, average rate is $85.25. And I could go on for the other 20 counties, but there's really no need. Basically, this shows who the three lowest rates are in San Diego County. Average monthly bill, $71.98 for Seawater Authority, $77.82 for Lakeside, and $85.25 for Carlsbad. So I thought I'd share this to determine how we came up with that information. And that concludes my report, Chair.
Thank you so much, General Manager. Thank you for this report. Director Martinez, you have a comment?
No, I just wanted to thank the general manager and our finance director for sharing that with the full board and the community. I think it's really, really important that we get the message out, and it's not just like by $1, it's almost 10% difference, So we need to keep it up, make sure that that gap stays like that it doesn't get any smaller. I mean, for many years we were second, now we're first. During the Olympics, we should get a gold medal instead of a golden fleece. But I think we should keep it up. And I know that it takes more than the board. It takes more than one person. I want to thank staff, because it's all of you making all this happen, and not just you, but the people that work for you. So this is great. Let's keep it up,
Thank you, Director. Director Delgado?
Yes, I just want to put things into perspective. Mr. GM, second closest to us, Lakeside. How many people do they serve? That's rather small.
Well, I think they're a fairly small district, Dr. Lalo. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, maybe Rich knows the number better than I do, but I know that they have, just a limited handful of people. I think they have 12, 13 people in their staff. They serve a fairly small city. I think Lakes is like 33,000. I just want to, don't quote me on it. I can get back to you with exact
Oh, I
numbers.
saw-
35,000 residents. I just Googled it.
There you go,
Lakeside
35. So I
Water
wasn't,
District serves approximately 35,000
yeah.
residents.
So I wasn't too far off. I mean, 2,000.
And 200
but,
goats.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
incredible because, I mean, we're pretty much, we're pretty large and we also have a lot of infrastructure, a lot of overhead. We have diverse resources that we got to maintain. So this is incredible. So I just want to echo what my colleague said. So as board members, we set policy, we vote on policies, but it's the staff that does all this, so I want to say thank you again.
Thank you, Director Cox. I see your yellow hand.
Thank you very much. Echo what's been said before, and thank you for the presentation. I was just checking my email to make sure I hadn't missed it. This will be posted online as part of the agenda for reference.
We'll post it, Director Cox, as part of General Manager's report. So it will be included with the agenda packet.
Okay,
It will be
sometime
added.
this week. Is that safe to?
I will defer to our board secretary, but yeah, it gets, I think there's another report that we shared, one of the director's events. This gets incorporated into the packet that gets that's put online.
Okay, I look forward to being able to share it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our board secretary looked at her and she said, tomorrow morning.
Mm.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Yes, Director.
So do we have any specific plans for this particular item to spread the word all over in all different languages? Is
Yes.
that something that we're going to be doing? I mean, do we have a specific
I-
plan?
Yes,
If I
General
may,
Manager,
Chair.
I
Yeah,
know that
we
you are.
we have again, we always do a press release, and we're looking. I've been in conversations with our public affairs manager, about maybe trying to convene a roundtable if there's enough interest by the media to talk about the variety of things we're doing, our water affordability plan, maybe answer questions regarding, rates in general. So I'll be coordinating with Angel on this, and we do hope to basically try to spread the word as far, as much as we can. But certainly, we're proud of it. I think it's just certainly it's been a few years in the making. I really applaud all the staff really to make this happen. It requires collective action on this.
So, General Manager, so
Yeah.
if I wanted to make a referral, what committee should I refer it to? Because I want to make this thing stick and I want to.
Sure, we can coordinate this. Yeah, Legislative Affairs and Communications will be a good vehicle, Director Martinez. Thank
So,
you.
Chair?
Yes,
May I-
yes, Director.
okay.
Actually, we sent out a press release about this one
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
already.
it needs to be more than just a press release.
Yes,
It has to.
Yes,
Mhm.
I understand, and General Manager had
Yeah, I
expressed
see.
this
Yeah, I
efforts.
I
Yeah.
may see Nick said, maybe Shake, maybe this needs to be brought as a separate item for discussion. So
Okay.
we can take that and bring it back or
Legislative
bring it
and
to committee. Yes, sure.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
might, like, my expectation would be to see something like what Angel did at the groundbreaking at the reservoir, where he had
Yeah.
Univision and all the different channel, 739 and everybody like that.
Yes.
Gonna
Thank you.
show it off, Director. When Ritz went to the General Manager jumping in, but then now we have the proof why we're the lowest. So then now it's all out there, and we'll be working hard to make sure that we continue to provide safe and reliable water at the most affordable rates. I remember
you.
that, Angel. Thank you so much. Report on item 18. This is from the representatives to the San Diego County Water Authority. That's Director Castañeda and Director Morrison. Director Castañeda, you first, sir.
Thank you. We have our meeting tomorrow. And just sort of recapping the agenda. The good news is there aren't any items that will raise the cost of water to us on the agenda tomorrow. So we're happy about that. There are a few items. One is basically a clarification on a policy with respect to benefits for certain classes of our employees. The other is a discussion on a project labor agreement that has been ongoing for some time at the County Water Authority. And the rest are just the financial, reports and so forth. But I can give a better report once our meeting has been conducted.
All right, thank you. Director Morrison?
Yes, of course, I will not be in attendance at tomorrow's meeting since I'm up here. So I will be missing that. At our last meeting, we had it started out kind of with a little bit of a ruckus in that there had been a procedure that had been worked on for the last 14 months by the different committees and by the board, and they'd even had several special meetings on it, and it was on their financing policies. And so this had all been worked out and everything. And then the night before the board meeting, the city of San Diego put out a letter and basically threw a curve into the whole thing. And it looked like as if it coincided with the parking meters and all the other things that they were looking at raising the rates. So they wanted to have a different financing package that we would be paying less on our bonds per year. And so therefore we could not have to raise the rates as much for paying back the bonds. Of course, when you refinance bonds, which we have to do quite regularly, that's not going to look very good on the bond market. And so you're basically delaying out the payment of the bonds and could risk our bond rating. And so it was highly recommended by staff that we not do it. But at the same time, City of San Diego immediately made a motion and made a second in committee. The vast majority of all the other agencies came out very strongly opposed to it, and it was shot down at committee. There was discussion, I know, behind the scenes about bringing it up in the regular board meeting, and where the San Diego could basically have a lot more weight. And I think they realized that it was going to cause more headache and more problems than it was worth, and so that one was stopped. Anyway, that's basically my report.
Thank you, Director. Item 19, reports by directors on events attended. 19.1, South County EDC, Director Castañeda.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and file a report with our board secretary for that one. I've already filed a report for 19.4, and I will do the same for 19.2.
Thank you so much, Director. Direct 19.2, Aqua 2026 Legislative Symposium. I already sent my report written to our board secretary that will be shared to all. 19.3, Cal DSAL Annual Conference. That's Director Martinez, Morrison, and Yamani. I've also sent out my report. Director Martinez.
I wanted to share some of the things that I learned at the highlights, at Cal DSAL. It was a very short conference, but an eye opener for me was when they're talking about desalination plants. And they were looking at all the cutting edge and all the new ideas that are out there. And there was this individual journalist, not an engineer, not a technical person. And he was saying, have you guys ever thought about the amount of space that a desalination plant takes compared to, say, a reservoir in a treatment plant? To me, that was like an eye opener. The cost of the land and the reservoir and the plant compared to a desalination plant, it makes them look like a bargain. And when he said that, I was like, whoa, I never heard an engineer say that before. This is the first time that I heard that. And there was a few others, but that one was the biggie, and that's something that as we move forward and we look at developing water resources for the future, and we look at everybody doing recycled water and direct potable reuse and everything else, that's something that needs to be considered, the cost of the land for the treatment plant. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Morrison.
Yeah, it was, as we just say, it was rather short, but it was a lot of information on that one. One of the things that I got out of it was because while there was discussion about saltwater desal, there was a good amount of discussion about groundwater brine desal also. The problem was the people that they had discussing it and in the panels were all ones that are working their way into the process for the most part. And so they were just finishing up their permitting, and they thought they might have this problem, and they thought they weren't too sure about this, and they weren't too sure about that. And I had a number of people say, well, wait a minute, why don't they have Sweetwater Authority up there doing this, and reporting on? You guys have been doing it for, since the 90s. And instead of people up there saying they don't know what's going to happen, and they're going through the process. And so did find it interesting that people were recognizing that we've been doing it for a long time and have a long history on it. And yet we were listening to people that say they're not too sure exactly what's going to happen with their process. So.
Sure. Thank you, Director. I remember you when we were seated right next to each other. That was your comment. Where are we on this one?
Yeah.
So anyway, 19.4 CSTA quarterly dinner meeting. I did that report, Director Castañeda and myself. Director Martinez.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was,
I caught you there.
yes, no, I,
Ms. Perez.
No comment.
No comment. Thank you. Director Castañeda. No comment. Director Delgado. None. Director Martinez.
yeah, I wanted to say that I'm, no, I wanted to, I wanted to say that I'm really glad to see that our board is supportive of the committees. The committee spent a lot of time reviewing in detail. We try to slow it down so that we can have a good discussion and try to have something that we present to the board. And I've noticed that lately the board has been approving most of the things that are discussed in committee. So I think that has a lot of value, not just for the process, but also for staff, that they analyze everything in detail, they make recommendations. And when I see congruence between what's being presented by staff and what we want, I feel like we have good communication. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Director. Director Cox.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess maybe piggybacking on what Vice Chair Martinez offered, related to the Engineering and Operations Committee meeting last week, we had an item that got deferred to the next meeting, and I had followed up with GM and Chair yourself. I didn't want to create a Brown Act violation, Vice Chair, by copying you as a member of the committee, but what I had asked And I haven't heard back yet whether we need board direction for this or if this is something that staff can just do, is to add sums to the columns on the Q2 CIP expense columns. I can be more specific and go back to the email, Chair, if you need, but I just wasn't sure if we needed board direction on that, or if a board member can ask that that modification be made before it comes back to committee.
Let me follow through with GM, okay, Director?
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And then,
Director- Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, I was kind of taking some stuff out of order. There were two other project updates that I was hoping might be able to come to the Engineering and Operations Committee in the next couple months. One is the funding sources for groundwater potential supply projects. We had an item on our agenda earlier to approve some invoices related to that work, and I'd love to just know better how we're doing. And the other is the Sweetwater Reservoir Capacity Restoration Project. Again, there was an invoice on tonight's agenda, and would like to get an update in the next couple of months on what's going on with that. And then while these are not per diem events, I did attend in the last 2 weeks the Sweetwater Valley Planning Group meeting. Supervisor Aguirre came, I think, for the first time and had a really thoughtful community dialogue. I really appreciate the way that she approached the conversation with community members, took as much time as was needed and allocated for that. I did have a question afterwards about the City of San Diego interconnections that we talked about last month, and so have provided the Bonita Highlands folks with the agenda item and encouraged them to reach out to staff for any questions in the meantime before that item comes back to the board. I also attended the Sweetwater Valley Civic Association meeting and shared some of the recent updates, the water affordability program. Very excited about the progress on the Central Wheeler tank and looking forward to that. There were a couple residents in that meeting who hadn't yet received the notifications that have since gone out. Those were received last week about the pressure reducing valves. I was asked about the status of the museum exhibit, and so that's on my list for follow-up with the GM and chair when we're able to meet again. And then I had a chance during the storms last week to go on a very wet tour with the Citizens Water Academy of the Helix Water District's levee treatment plant. And so that was really interesting to see some similarities and some differences with our treatment processes, and the fact that the County Water Authority owns, I think, about 30% of that plant and its output. So some fun facts picked up along the way, but appreciate the opportunity for residents of our community and the region to learn more about the diverse ranges of water treatment and the assets that are out there. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Director. Director Morrison?
I'm self-muting.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. For me, no report. Thank you. I already sent you my report, and thank you for your consideration to written reports. So we are going to our closed session. The board will be going into closed session following the announcement by legal counsel. Members of the public are welcome to continue to stay on the line while the board is in closed session. However, they will only hear silence. Following closed session, an attempt will be made to make an oral announcement of any reportable action and announcement on the time of adjournment of the meeting. If there are any technical difficulties, a written report out of closed session, which will include the time of meeting adjournment, will be posted on the authority's website by end of day Thursday. Members of the public that would like to speak on any closed session items, please raise your hand. Board Secretary, are there any public comments?
There's no public comments, Chair.
So I defer to Council Norvell.
Thank you. The board will be going into closed session on items 21.1 and 21.2. These are conference with labor negotiators with the details listed on the agenda.
Thank you. So,
Thank you, Chair. I will be leaving this channel and see all of you in closed session. As far as staff, it would only be Department Head Leticia Munguia in the program.
okay. Thank you, GM. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you in a few minutes.